for reminding me. Scott is saying no audio. Okay, everyone is interacting with me, so it definitely seems like it's working. Awesome. Lance is saying, if I buy it before you present, can I get a discount? Awesome. Well, I got a great discount regardless for everyone on here. So if you just stay with me for the next 60 minutes, you'll understand everything and understand the power of what we've created. All right. So let me go ahead and hit play and officially kick things off. All right. And you guys can also just post your questions in the chat box. I promise I will get to them towards the end. But once I hit start on this presentation, it's kind of hard to also look over and stay on top of the questions because it's on a different screen. But I'll do my best to kind of interact with you throughout the presentation. But for the most part, I'll stick with answering your questions towards the end. Excuse me. Okay, so Scott is saying you got the audio now. Perfect. So as you can see on the screen, I'm going to talk about how to leverage the power of automation to rank your content on page one for the long term. Now, there's a few things there that should stand out for you. Number one, what we're going to be talking about is how to automate everything. Number two, obviously, that you're going to be ranking on the first page. So you're going to be able to get free traffic to your offers for your clients or whatever kind of action it is that you're looking to get from the visitor. And number three is that it's going to stay there for the long term. So there's three things that should pop out at you there from that headline. It's automated. You're going to be able to rank on the first page, and it's going to stay there for the long term. So like I said, the next 60 minutes or so, I'm going to share with you the how and the why of how this works, and then jump into the demo of the very powerful app. And that's actually a three-part app, all right? So we're going to be talking about three different apps and how they all work together to achieve what this headline is promising, all right? So who am I? Most of you on here already know who I am. You've bought a software or two off of me, so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, okay? In case some of you don't know who I am, my name is Joshua Zamora. I'm from Miami, Florida. I'm born and raised here. I still live here to this day. And although my wife and I have traveled quite a bit, Miami is still home. Okay, I find it hard to leave here and live anywhere else. All right, I've been marketing online since 2010. Can't believe that it's going on 8 years, and almost 8 years to the day, because I remember I got started in October of 2010. So, man, yeah, over a year now, because October is almost done. So it's crazy. If I would have told my 2010 self that 8 years from then I'd be running a full-time online business, I would have looked at you like I was crazy. But as of 2014, I work full-time online and enjoy a balanced lifestyle that I've been able to design. And I think that's what's more important for me, and what I enjoy the most is being able to pretty much live life on my terms. Obviously, I have chosen to be on here with you guys for the next 90 minutes, and that's a choice that I'm able to make, and that's a choice that or a decision that someone is making me make. Okay, so that's one thing that I really enjoy. If I wanted to just cancel this webinar and go off and go fishing, I could do that as well. Well, not technically, because my wife would kill me since we have a 2-month-old that was just born, but you guys get the idea. Okay, I have some more flexibility right now, but not too much with our newborn. I've been doing video and SEO specifically since 2012. So there's a few timelines there that I want to point out to you, just in case some of you on here are struggling. And let me get a good idea, okay? Give me a 2 in the chat box if you're kind of struggling right now to get your business off the ground. Give me a 2 in the chat box. Okay, tons of 2s coming in. All right, and give me a 3 in the chat box if you've been doing it for more than 6 months. Okay, good amount of 3s. Awesome. Well, I'm here to tell you guys that do not stop. Keep pushing forward, okay? Because take a look at my timeline. I got started in 2010. It wasn't until 4 years later. And I don't want to scare you guys because it's different for everyone. But for me, it took 4 years to be able to go full time. Okay, I didn't go to college. I just went straight out of Hawaii. I did 6 months of college. Dropped out of that. I was like, I'm not going to go to school for another 4 years, especially the first 2 years, I'm going to learn everything I just learned in high school. So I dropped out of that, started working, and I started pursuing several different business ventures right away. And then I somehow stumbled upon internet marketing, but it took me again 4 years to go full time. And then I started SEO specifically in 2012. So I did two entire 4 years of SEO and video marketing for two web design companies here in Miami, while also working on my own campaigns on the side. And also, I'd admit I did run some of my own campaigns on the job as well. But again, 4 years to go full time, and 2 years of doing full time SEO here for two different web design companies. But again, if you're struggling right now, keep pushing forward. It's different for everyone. Some people it takes 3 months, some people it takes 6 months, some people it takes a year. But it's those people that continue pushing forward and don't let anything stop them that really come out on the other side and become successful. Okay, because you never hear about a success story from someone who quit. All right. So just a little bit of motivation there. Here are just a few pictures as well for a little bit more motivation. Okay, and one thing that my wife and I love to do is to travel around the world. So we've been to 19 different countries. So the first picture was us in the Lovelock Bridge, is no longer there. So I probably shouldn't be using that anymore. Okay, unfortunately, we paid like 10 euros to buy a lock and put it on the bridge, and then a few months later they tore it down. We went over there for the person that's here from Paris, under the Eiffel Tower. The person from Ireland, that we are in the Cliffs of Moher. I think someone said they were from Italy as well. That's a great picture that we took, crossing one of the bridges, overlooking one of the canals. Here in the Colosseum in Santorini, Greece. I don't think anyone is on here from Greece, but some very, very nice people there and amazing food. But this is what is the center of our attention right now. Our baby girl, 2 months. Well, she's going to be 2 months on the 1st. And my puppy there, he's a little over a year. The trainer just left here about an hour and a half ago. We're putting him through some rigorous training so that he can take care of his little buddy there, our baby Zoe. All right, so that's a little bit about me. But one thing that I really want to stress to you guys is why you should pay attention today and why you should even be listening to me. Okay, there's no one else on here. There's no guests. It's just you, me, and the reason why you should pay close attention to me. Okay. Pretty much, I know how to rank #1 on Google. Okay, many of you on here are on this call for that very reason, because you bought a product of mine, whether it's for providing local services or for ranking on the first page of Google or getting some kind of free traffic. But for the most part, you guys are on here because you purchased Done For You Chief, and I might have sent us one email to a couple of the people from Video Traffic Genie as well. But anyway, you guys pretty much know that I know how to rank #1 in Google with videos, and not just with videos, but with niche sites as well. Okay, this is one niche site that I put together that completely whoops, I pressed the key one too many times. All right, but pretty much, okay, this was a niche site that I dominated here in the local area pretty quickly. Okay, and also I'm able to convert that traffic into income as well. Okay, here in the top, over $1,600 from one campaign, daily clickbank sales there, one campaign there, over $500, over $600 there, $300 there, $5,000 there. Okay, $1,200 there. It's just, it's one thing to rank and then another thing to rank and be able to convert that traffic. So when you're able to do both, these are the kind of results that you can get. All right, so now when it comes to ranking #1, there's pretty much 3 components. Okay, #1, keyword research. #2, on-page SEO. #3, off-page SEO. And this is pretty basic stuff, right? Most of you on here already know this stuff. And the most important thing as well is that the first 2 are usually pretty linear. Okay, keyword research and on-page SEO have always stayed pretty linear when it comes to SEO. Okay, you usually do the same thing for both of them, and have done the same thing for both of them for quite a long time. For the most part, all of the updates that Google makes usually targets the backlinking side of things and things like that. Okay, so the #1 thing to remember when it comes to keyword research is that the more targeted, the better. I can't stress that anymore. The more targeted, the better. Okay, give me a 4 in the chat box if you understand that. The more targeted, the better. Awesome, tons of 4s coming in, perfect. Awesome. Lance, John, Paul, Scott, David. Awesome. Perfect. So the more targeted, the better. I really want that to sink in. Okay. And why? Why is it the more targeted, the better? Because number one, the competition is way too strong if you go too broad. And that's one reason why I think many people struggle and fail with SEO is because they just try to go too broad. And when that happens, you're just pretty much setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're brand new to SEO. Okay. Because you're going to be competing against people that have been doing this for months or even years, and it's just not a great way to start things off. Okay, so you want to go targeted and you want to go with as little competition as possible, with which is another piece of the puzzle, because when you get targeted, the competition tends to drop quite a bit. Okay, and number two, if you do rank for those broad terms, the traffic is not going to convert as well. Okay, and everyone thinks, oh yeah, if I can just rank for weight loss, or if I could just rank for how to make money. And yeah, of course, you can. Let's say that you do for some reason end up ranking for one of those really broad terms. Then what? You're gonna start getting all types of people coming to your video, and it's not targeted at all. Because let's say you rank for weight loss, okay? You're gonna start getting women, kids. You're gonna start getting males. You're gonna start getting pregnant women, or women that just gave birth, or guys that want to gain muscle instead of lose weight, or guys that want to just learn how to lose weight in a specific part of their body. So it's not the best thing to rank for those broad terms. Okay. However, if you were to rank for something like how to build muscle in your right tricep, okay, something like that. All right. Obviously, that's a very crazy example, but something targeted like that is going to get you very specific kind of person, and then you can offer a very specific kind of product, and your conversions are going to be a lot higher. All right. So that brings me to, instead of targeting and when it comes to obviously local, I was just on a tangent on affiliate marketing. But when it comes to local marketing, instead of targeting a big city, you want to go into the smaller towns within the big city, and even target by zip code as well. Okay, so when it comes to local marketing, everyone always, also when it comes to local marketing, they think, oh, if I could just rank for the big city, if I can rank for a chiropractor in Miami, yes, that's going to just bring me all the leads I can handle. And again, no, that's not the case. Okay, you want to go into the smaller towns, and then even target by zip code so that you can really get targeted. All right, because the reason when it comes to local ranking, why you want to do that is, if you rank for the big city terms, most people won't drive more than 20 to 30 minutes if they can find a better option closer. Okay, so perfect example here in Miami, there's again, a ton of different towns. One of them where I live is West Miami. Okay, and West Miami is probably about a 3-mile radius of a city, very small city. If I'm looking for a chiropractor in my city, and let's say I type in chiropractor Miami, all right, and then one of you happen to have ranked your client on the first page of Google, but your client is all the way in, let's say, Kendall, which is a 30-minute drive, 30 to 45-minute drive from where I am. There's no way I'm going to drive all the way over there. Even though you ranked your client for the big city term, chiropractor Miami, I'm not going to drive all the way over there. I want someone in West Miami. So I'm going to type in chiropractor in 33155, or chiropractor in West Miami. Things that are very, very targeted to my local area. Okay. Now, yeah, of course, most of the people are going to type in, the bigger search volume is for those big city terms. But again, the traffic is not going to convert as high as getting targeted. Okay, and really honing in on those local areas, and you can sell that to your clients as well, because many clients are going to come to you and ask for those big city terms. No, I want to rank for Miami. Okay, and you could break it down like that to them as well. Be like, look, you could, but again, you're not going to get as targeted as traffic. You want the traffic that when they call you, you can convert them into a sale, not tell them, oh, sorry, you're too far away. You should look for someone closer to your area. All right. Give me a 7 in the chat box if that's making sense so far. And Carenza is saying, you mean a more narrow niche? Yeah, so you want to get as targeted as possible. Not a more narrow niche, but when it comes to local, you want to get a more targeted location. Okay, and when it comes to an affiliate marketing campaign, yeah, you want to get a more targeted keyword. So for example, when it comes to an affiliate campaign, instead of again, I can go back to the weight loss example. Instead of targeting how to lose weight, I'll target how to lose weight for men over 40, or or how to lose weight in your stomach for men over 40, or how to build abs for men over 40, or things like that, or men over 45, or to get really specific and say for guys that are 50 years old, something like that. Okay, you want to hone in on something that's very, very specific, because your conversions are going to be a lot higher and you're targeting a very specific person. Okay, and bringing it back to local, same example I just shared. You want to target the more specific locations, so that when someone types that into Google, your client shows up and they get the sale because they are a 5-minute drive from the person that's calling them. All right. Perfect. Ben is saying, what software am I using to present? I'm using Keynote. All right, so the same applies for affiliate marketing campaigns. I already said this, the more targeted, the better. Okay, so the second thing to consider is to make sure you're targeting buyer keywords. This is another very, very important thing that I want you guys to write down. Make sure you're targeting buyer keywords. Okay, and what I mean by buyer keywords is that some sort of action is going to take place once the user has landed on your content and is done reading or watching your video. Okay, whether if it's a piece of written content, when they're done reading or when they're done watching, they're going to take some kind of action. The last thing you want to do is target informational kind of keywords, where someone goes in, they type in their keyword, they're landing your content, they get the information they need, boom, they're gone, and they don't need to make any kind of they don't need to take any kind of action. So you want to target those buyer keywords where at the end of that person's research, they're going to take an action. Okay, and that action could be purchasing a product, signing up to your email list, calling your client's phone number, et cetera, et cetera. As long as some action is taken, those are the kind of keywords that you want to target. All right. So an example would be, an example of an informational kind of keyword would be how to shut down a Mac with your keyboard. And as an example, okay, that's someone that's gonna go to Google, type that in, the answer is gonna show up. They're gonna learn how to do it, and they're gone. That's it. They're not gonna buy anything. They're not gonna subscribe to anything. None of that stuff. They're just gonna go in, get the information they need, and they're gone. Okay. So you want to do the opposite of that, which is you want someone to take an action. Okay, so perfect example would be the best keyboard for a Mac, something like that as an example. Okay, that's going to lead someone to land on probably a review website or a review video. They're going to watch that, they're going to find the one that they want, then they're going to take an action and buy one. Okay, so do you guys understand? Does that make sense, that when you're targeting a buyer keyword versus an informational keyword? Give me let's do 5 in the chat box. Okay, awesome. Tons of 5s coming in. Perfect. Okay, so now that we talked about keyword research, let's talk about step number 2, which is on-page SEO. Okay, so step number 1 to any SEO campaign is keyword research. Step number 2 is on-page SEO. Okay, so I'm going to quickly walk through a 7-step on-page SEO blueprint. Again, most of you have probably already seen this, and like I said at the beginning of this, keyword research and on-page SEO have stayed pretty linear over the last few years. Okay, not much has changed when it comes to that. Okay, so the first thing, of course, is once you have your keyword picked out and you have your content ready, you want to make sure your keyword is in the title. Very basic stuff. Okay, you want to sprinkle your keyword in your article about 2 to 3 times. But one thing that I want to point out is that you have to make sure that it makes sense. Okay, a few years ago, it was very popular to just stuff in a keyword into your article without it even having to make sense. Okay, as long as you had it in there, it didn't matter where, it didn't matter if it made sense. As long as you had it in there, that's all you needed. Okay, but I recommend always to make sure that it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense, you can write it out in a way that it does, okay? So that your keyword doesn't have to be exact, but it's still a variation of your keyword is still in there and the sentence still makes sense, okay? And the number 2 to 3 times, it depends on how long your article is, okay? If your article is about 500 words, you know, two times is usually pretty good. If it's, you know, 1,000 or more, then you can do 3, even 4 times, sprinkle it in there, and even mix it up with some other variations of your keyword to try and target even more traffic from variations of your keyword, okay? You can add multiple images and a relevant YouTube video. We're in a world where people love media. They love memes, they love images, they love GIFs, they love watching videos. So any of that different type of media that's relevant to your article, add it in there, okay? I don't think I've seen an article over the last, I don't know, 3-4 years that doesn't have an image, a video, or multiple images and multiple videos embedded on the article. Because again, people are consuming content in different forms, and the more kind of content you can offer, the better it's going to be for your stick rate on your website as well. Okay, so the longer someone stays on your website, that also helps with your rankings. You also want to have it as the alternate text on at least one of those images. Okay, now the alt text or the alternate text, that's pretty much the description that you set for the picture. Okay, because Google can't read pictures. They just read all text. Okay, they analyze nothing but text. So you can specify some alternate text that gets stuck to the image so that when Google scans your article, it's able to pick up that there's an image on the website, and the alternate text tells Google what that image is about. Okay, so if you put your keyword there, it's going to let Google know that your image is about that specific keyword, and it's going to help boost your rankings. Okay, you also want to have it in one of your header tags. And don't overdo it, okay? I know before it was, you know, put it in your H1 tag, put it in your H2 tag, put it in your H3 tag, and put it, you know, in all your header tags. I don't do that too much anymore. And again, one of the updates that Google did release was to target people that were overstuffing their articles with their keywords, okay? So you want to just maybe put it in your header 1 or your header 2, and that's it, okay? Just have it in there, but don't overdo it. And sorry, if you don't know what the header tag is, it's pretty much just a title, okay? And if you're, it's a title within your article, pretty much. And if you're ever editing a WordPress article, you'll see that you're able to specify an H1, an H2, an H3 in the editing options. You'll be able to see that there. Okay, you also want to have it in the meta title and meta description. Okay, and the meta title and description, that is pretty much what shows up when in Google. Okay, so if someone types in a keyword, all those titles and those descriptions that show up in the Google results pages, that is the meta title and the meta description. And for each article that you put on your website, you can specify a different meta title and meta description. And that's what pretty much allows you to rank your website for multiple keywords, even if you have a similar article posted on your website. Okay, so let's say you have 10 different articles that are pretty much the same, but each of them are targeting a different city or a different location in your area. You can still have each article be similar, but the meta information be different and be targeting a different zip code or a different website or a different city in your local area. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have that in there as well. And you also want to have your keyword in the URL. The powerful thing is that most of you on here probably use WordPress, and WordPress makes it very easy to set your title to be your URL. Okay, it's a simple setting that you can edit, and it's going to automatically take your title, which is step number 1 to optimizing your article, and automatically put that as the URL. Okay, so that's very simple on-page SEO. And you do that for each article that you put on your website. Okay, now the good thing is, like I mentioned at the beginning of this training, we now have software that does all of this automatically for you, and we'll be talking about that here in a few minutes. Okay, so now let's talk off-page SEO. This is part 3 of ranking on the first page of Google. Okay, so we've talked about keyword research, we've talked about on-page SEO, and now let's talk about off-page SEO. Now, if you're brand new to SEO, off-page SEO means everything that happens off of your website. Okay, which is pretty much doing syndication and building backlinks to your website. Okay. Um, Off-page SEO has always been pretty much the glue that brings it all together so that you can rank fast for those tougher keywords and rank for the long term as well. Okay, so like I continue to say this, keyword research and on-page usually has stayed pretty much the same. The biggest thing that always continues to change is off-page SEO. What's going on outside of your website? Who's talking about your content? And is Google considering that relevant to help boost your rankings? Okay, and over time off-page SEO has evolved. Okay, like I said, it's probably the one thing that has continued to change more than anything else out there. Okay, before it was all about quantity. Okay, you used to be able to send 10,000 common backlinks to any website and be number one. And when I say 10,000 common backlinks, these were crappy, spammy, horrible backlinks that you're building to your website. Who remembers that? Who remembers that you can fire up Scrapebox and blast away 10,000 backlinks? Yeah, okay, awesome. Tons of ones coming in. There's a few questions coming in, so I'll address them once we are done with this. All right. Perfect. So you can send 10,000 comments overnight, boom, be ranking right away. Or, we used to do 5,000 forum profile links or any combination of hundreds of thousands of links, okay? This used to work wonders, okay? And you can do this all day long and just continue to just rank. Okay, however, nowadays we all know that Google has cleaned things up and those mass backlinking days are over. Okay, today it's all about quality, and it has been about quality over the last few years. Just the quality has changed over that time. Okay, and that's where social syndication and social signals come into play. Okay, that is pretty much right today what is working the best: social syndication and social signals. Okay, and why is social syndication and social signals working so well? And to get the answer to that question, we're going to analyze what happens when a campaign goes viral. Because when a campaign goes viral, we can see a blueprint as to what you need to do to rank on the first page for the long term. Okay, so all the signs are there. We just need to be able to recognize those signs. Okay, and I'm gonna share those signs with you right now. Okay, so step number one, when a campaign goes viral, is a user publishing a piece of optimized content on their website or YouTube channel. Okay, very basic step, and I just covered that now. You're going to publish an article on your website, make sure it's optimized. That is step number one for a campaign going viral. Okay. Step number two, that the person that published that viral campaign is usually going to share that content on social media, on their social media profiles, to get some initial traffic. And this is what we call social syndication. They're taking their article, they're sharing it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these different social media profiles where their target audience is. Okay, so they're hoping that, boom, this content gets shared and it starts to get some initial traffic. And what happens is when a campaign goes viral and that content gets posted on these social profiles, that's usually where the sparks begin and a ton of interest starts, and that's when it begins to go viral. Usually 99% of the time when a campaign catches fire, it's happening because of a social media profile. And for the most part, it's either Facebook or Twitter, okay? The two biggest ones out there. And also Instagram if it's an image and things like that. But usually Facebook is where that viralness usually begins. Okay, so step number 4 is once it catches that initial spark on social media, it begins to get reshared on thousands of people's profiles and pages. It starts to get liked, retweeted, pinned, etc., etc. And this is where social signals play a role. Okay, because now you're getting hundreds of thousands of people sharing that viral content. Okay, so this is just starting to spread absolutely everywhere. Okay, and I want you to think about that, what's happening here. The person that published that viral campaign optimized it, published it on their website, shared it on social media, on their own social media profiles, and then from there, other people are now starting to interact with that content, sharing it, liking it, tweeting it, etc., and giving it the social signals that it needs. Okay. And then step number 5, what usually happens, the next step after it catches fire on social media sites, the bookmarkers get a hold of it, and it now ends up on sites like Reddit, StumbleUpon, and all these different social bookmarking sites. And that's where even more social signals come into play. Okay. And bookmarking sites are a life of their own. Okay, especially Reddit. Things can just go to a whole other level on Reddit when it comes to content going viral. Okay, so that's step number 5. It ends up on the bookmarking sites. Step number 6, the content curators get a hold of it, and now it starts to get republished or embedded on hundreds of other websites as well. Okay, so now if you guys don't know what a content curator is, pretty much a content curation website is a website that publishes 0 unique content. They just go out there, they take a look at what's going viral, and a piece of content that they like, and they republish that piece of content on their website in the hopes of being able to capture some of that viral traffic on their website. Okay, and so pretty much they're publishing on their own website, and this happens over and over on hundreds of different websites. Okay, so now it's really taking off, and other websites are starting to republish this piece of viral content. Okay, and step number 7, the end result, Google goes absolutely crazy and is almost obligated to rank it on page 1. Okay, and does that make sense to you guys? All right, all these people are sharing it and it's getting ranked on the first page. So why is it that Google is forced to rank this piece of content? Okay, because now that it's gone viral, people who missed it, all right, everyone's at work or at the bar or at lunch, and people are talking about, oh, this piece of content, did you see it? Oh, here it is, look, boom boom, and there's a bunch of bickering going on, and then there's so few people out in the that haven't caught on, that are wondering, what are all these people talking about? Okay, what's this content that's going viral? What's going on that's being shared everywhere? Okay, so what's going to happen is the people that missed it will be going to Google to find the piece of content that everyone is talking about. Okay, and Google is not about to let their users down, so it must show that content on the first page. Okay, because if everyone is sharing it, everyone is talking about it, they know that there's going to be those handful of people that miss it on these different social media profiles, on these bookmarking sites, all these different places, and the first place they're going to go to look for it is Google. So they have to show that piece of content, okay? Because Google is in the business of being the #1 search engine. So if a piece of content is going viral and their users are going to their search engine to find that piece of viral content, they have to show it, okay? And one thing to keep in mind as well is that all of this happens usually within days or even hours of a piece of content going viral. This is the beautiful thing about this white hat way of doing things, that all of this social activity on this content is happening right now. Literally, a piece of content is probably starting to go viral right now as I'm speaking. And within the next hour, it's just going to be spread all over the place. Okay, so when a piece of content goes viral, it happens fast. Okay, but the best part is that although the viralness will quickly die off and move on to the next best content, because again, even though the viralness is happening quickly, just as quickly as it goes viral, it quickly dies off and something else goes viral the next day or the next week. Okay, and now if you're talking about a viral piece of content from 2 weeks ago, people are looking at you like you're crazy, because 2 weeks in the online world is like 2 years ago. Okay, no one is even talking about that anymore. Okay, however, those page 1 rankings that resulted from all of that social interaction on that content, that will remain there and stick that content on page 1 for a very, very, very long time. Okay. Because let me go back real quick. I clicked on that. All right. So it's going to be on there for a very, very long time, because even though the viralness dies off, like I said, that content is still going to be on there. People are still going to be talking about it a month, 2 months, even a year down the road. They might remember, hey, you remember that content that we saw last year or whatever, or there's always those people that find out about stuff way too late, and they're gonna have to go to Google and find this information. So Google has to keep that content on there just in case anyone ever goes back to their search engine and tries to find that viral piece of content. Okay, so that is how you can leverage the power of a viral campaign to rank on the first page for the long term. So now the real question is, how can you mimic this sort of activity for your own content and leverage similar social interaction for your own campaigns? Okay, and does all of this make sense to you guys? Okay, give me a 2 in the chat box if everything I just covered makes sense. Okay, that being able to mimic a viral campaign and the process of that and how Google reacts to that can lead you to long-term rankings. Yeah, Scott said sticky SEO. I like that term. I might take that term there. Sticky SEO. I like that. Awesome. All right, so there's a bunch of questions. I'll get to them once we finish up. Okay, someone said, what was step number 1? Step number 1 is the most simplest step, which is publishing a piece of optimized content on a website. That is step number 1 for a campaign going viral. Nothing can go viral if there's no content to go viral. So step number 1 is you publish a piece of optimized content on your website. And I covered how to optimize your website just before going into that. Okay, so how can you mimic this sort of activity for your own content and leverage similar social interaction for your own campaigns? Automation. Okay, that's the power of what the day and age that we're living in today. You can automate just about everything. So automation is the key to making this happen for your own campaigns. And luckily for you guys, I've created the ultimate set of automation apps that takes care of every step we just talked about completely hands-free. Okay, it takes care of absolutely everything. And it's all stemmed from the years of me doing this stuff manually and getting amazing results. Okay, I mean, I can sit here and tell you guys that I still remember to this day building backlinks manually, signing up for forum profiles, reverse engineering my competition's backlinking and trying to get as much of those backlinks for my own websites, and just creating accounts on dozens of different bookmarking sites and making sure that I published my content on all of them, signing up for every single Web 2.0 site you can find and republishing my content on there as well. So all of this that I've created was for me spending just all my AM hours doing this stuff manually. Okay. However, as my business grew, I've been able to create powerful technology to automate my business. Okay. So allow me to introduce you to my Surplify, SynLab, and SimBuddy platforms. Okay. Surplify automatically optimizes and posts your content for any location and keyword you specify. Okay. And then from there, and that was step number 1. Remember, step number 1 is to post an optimized piece of content on your website and make sure that you get as targeted as possible with your location and your keywords as well. So Surplify takes care of step number 1 when it comes to ranking on the first page of Google. And it does step number 1 and step number 2. It allows you to target by keyword, and it automatically optimizes your content as well, and it automatically posts it. Okay. And with its powerful built-in location database, you can target those ultra targeted terms that we talked about earlier. Okay. And once your content is optimized and posted, then you deploy my SynLab and SimBuddy platforms. Okay. And these 2 platforms are the perfect social syndication and social signals combo. SynLab allows you to syndicate your content to over 40 different high-quality social sites. So again, this was step number 2 when it comes to a campaign going viral. You're sharing your content on your own social media sites. And then SimBuddy is an extension of SynLab, okay, where you can tap into over 4,300 members that are located all over the world that are ready to share your content on their networks. Okay, so you remember step number 3, where other people are starting to interact with that piece of content. They're sharing it, they're liking it, they're tweeting it, and they're just sharing it all over the world with their on their accounts. Okay, so that's where SimBuddy comes into play, and it takes care of that part of the process. Okay, and this is the current stats, the SimBuddy stats as of about a week ago. Now we're over 1.5 million. We've officially crossed the 1.5 million mark from 4,300 different members. So these are real members located all over the world. These aren't paid employees. These aren't virtual assistants in the Philippines that are sharing this content. These are real members located all over the world, US, Canada, Europe, Australia, everywhere, all over the world. People are on the SimBuddy platform sharing each other's content. Okay, and it's proven because we've had over 1.5 million shares across our members, and we've only been open for a little over a year. Okay, so you get the power of fully automated optimization and posting of your content with Surplify, the power of social syndication from your own accounts with SynLab, and you get the knockout punch of real social signals from the SimBuddy army. Okay, it's the perfect trifecta combo to rank your content fast and for the long term. Okay, so does that make sense to all of you guys? Do you see how not only how it works and how I developed this entire system, but how I was able to automate the entire process? Okay, give me a 5 in the chat box. And Scott is saying that is my biggest setback, learning to do everything manually. Yeah, absolutely. And you shouldn't have to do everything manually. I did everything manually for years for you guys, okay? And I automated the process of doing everything manually. All right, awesome. Tons of 5s coming in. Valerie is saying brilliant. Awesome. So I'm going to just continue a few more slides, and then I can jump into a live demo to show you guys. Okay, and this 3-part software is the perfect way to mimic the natural process that takes place during a viral campaign that gets Google drooling to rank your content. Okay, and again, I did the stuff manually for years so that you guys don't have to, because now I've automated it. Okay, so let's quickly jump into a demo video, and I can show you guys how each of these apps work together. Okay, so Surplify is the step number 1 into how all of this works. Okay, so Surplify is what optimizes and automatically posts your content for you on your websites. And the good thing that you'll see here is that over the last 48 hours, SynLab has posted 19 different pieces of content onto my website without me having to do anything. I set up the project once, and this is running every single day without me having to do anything. Okay, and you can see there's scheduled posts. Excuse me, there's 50 pieces of content already scheduled to go out to my different websites over the next 48 hours. Okay, so in the last 48 hours, there's been 19 posts made, and over the next 48 hours, there's 50 posts already scheduled. And again, I set this project up at least about 2 weeks ago, and for the last 2 weeks, it's just been posting and doing all this stuff without me having to touch it. Okay, so let me show you how that works. Step number 1 is to actually add your website in here. Okay, now one thing that I recommend, since many of you on here are Done For You Chief users, I know someone mentioned how can we rank the Done For You Chief sites. Well, what I recommend is you can forward, Done For You Chief allows for you to forward your Done For You Chief website to your client's domain, and then you can easily install a subdirectory of WordPress just to use with Surplify. Okay, so you can have your client's domain /blog, and then have that be the one that's connected to Surplify. Okay, so I know I saw someone ask a question about that. That's how I would do it. I would set up a separate subdirectory that's separate from the Done For You Chief site, and then have that subdirectory be the one that pushes all the traffic to the root domain or to the action URL. All right. So if you're building a list, you want to push all the traffic to that page where the opt-in form is, or the page to book a phone call appointment, all of that stuff. All right. So step number one is to add a website. Okay. Very simple process. You click plus here, and you add the URL, you add the username, and you add your password. None of this stuff is ever compromised. We don't get access to it. None of that stuff, okay? This is just to allow Simplify to connect to your website to do the posting and optimization on your behalf. We also have a Simplify plugin, okay? This is an optional plugin that you can install on your website for the purpose of Simplify creating different authors on your website, okay? Because again, Simplify is out here posting hundreds upon hundreds of articles to my websites every single week. The last thing that I want is for that piece of content all to be attributed to one author, okay? It just doesn't look natural that one person is writing 100 articles per week on one website. So the Simplify plugin, you install it, and then Simplify is able to connect to that plugin, and it's going to create a different random number of users, well, however many you specify. You can specify for it to create 30, 40, 50, 100 different users, and then the plugin is going to automatically attribute different articles randomly to a different author. Okay, so hopefully I didn't confuse you too much, but when there's so much content being posted on a website automatically, you want it to look like it's a natural growing website where multiple authors are posting all this different content. Okay, so that's what the plugin does. But this is how simple it is to add a website. You add the URL, the username, the password, you install the plugin, you're good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to sites. I'm going to go into, well, the next step is to actually add a project. Okay, so you go to projects, you click add a project, and I'm going to walk through one of these that's already active so you can just see everything already populated. Okay, but when you click add a project, it's going to look like this. Okay, this one I've called it Best Plumber in Miami. So the first step is to name the project. The next step is to choose the sites that you want Simplify to post on your behalf for this specific project. So this is the website. You can also have multiple websites per project. I'm just going to have one website for the purpose of this demo. Okay, I'm going to click next. And this is where things really get interesting. Okay, the geolocation database that we've built into Simplify is one of the most complete databases and most targeted databases you can ever get access to. Okay, we have all of the US here, all of Canada, and all of Europe. Okay, so someone on here was from Paris, right? So I believe, I forgot what the name was, but who on here is from Paris? Let me know which one of these, I guess, towns, I would say, within Paris you're in. I'm not even going to try to pronounce any of these. Bredogny. So if you're from Paris and you recognize one of these, just tell me that you do. I know there was someone on here from Paris. If not, I'll just pick one in random. Ile-de-France. Okay, here we go. So you're in Ile-de-France. All right. And wow, this continues going. So under Ile-de-France, and look how targeted I'm able to get. So now I'm in the country of France. Okay, in this city, I'm assuming, and then within this city or town, I'm able to go even deeper. Okay, so which one of these do you, Frederick? Which one of these do you recognize? Okay, wow, there's a bunch of them. Adenville, that one I can say. Attainville, Auto, I'm not even gonna try to say any of these. Paris Lower. Let's see if Paris Lower shows up. Wow, I didn't realize France was so huge. Look at all of this. Paris Lower. Okay, let's see. Oh, did I pass it? Paris. Here goes Paris. And look at all these zip codes within Paris. Okay, so now we've targeted all the way down to the city of Paris, and within the city of Paris, we have all of these different zip codes. Okay, so now since Frederick knows Paris pretty well, he'll be able to target the lower part of Paris by selecting the zip codes that are part of the lower part of Paris. Okay, so remember when I mentioned that you want to get as targeted as possible? This is how you do it automatically with Simplify. Okay, you select the zip codes that you want to target in the specific city that you're in. Okay, so you don't want to target Paris, because just take a look at this. Imagine if you ranked for Paris as a whole. Look at all these different zip codes within Paris that you can show up for. So someone that's in this zip code is not going to drive to this zip code to get a service. Okay, you want to make sure you're ranking in this specific zip code instead of Paris as a whole. Okay, so let's do another example. All right, France is way too big, so let me close this down and let's go somewhere. Wow. Let me go back up. Look how complete this database is. I mean, look, this is just France still. All right, there we go. Let me minimize that. Okay, and minimize this. Perfect. So there we are. Now let's do Ireland. Okay, where's Ireland? There we go. Ireland. Leinster. Let's do Leinster. All right, man. Ireland is pretty big too. Look, we have every single place you can think of. Okay, Castleknock. That sounds pretty good. So let's say Castleknock. All right, we can target each and every one of these here, and it seems like they're all the same. D15. Okay, so this might be a smaller town with one zip code, and boom, you can target this one and just absolutely dominate. Okay, so let me do something in the U.S. for my U.S. fellow Americans. All right, and we have everything you can think of in the US as well. And you can see everything here: Sweden, Slovenia, Slovakia, Scotland. We have all of Europe in here. Okay, we have all the states in here: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California. Okay, obviously I'm in Florida. Okay, and within Florida we have all the cities, and within each city we have the different zip codes. Okay, so you can get really, really targeted. And not only do we have the big cities, but at least for here in Florida, we have even the smaller cities as well. Okay, so we have Miami as a whole, but then we also have the smaller cities. So let me show you an example. So Coral Gables is a city in Miami, and within Coral Gables, we have all the zip codes within Coral Gables. Okay, Coral Springs, this is one in Broward, which is a different county up. Country Lakes, this is a very small town on the west part of Miami. I can target just these zip codes there. Okay, so are you guys seeing just how powerful this is to really get targeted with what I mentioned before and target those terms in there? Okay, someone is saying no New Zealand. Yes, we have New Zealand. Let me get in here. I believe we have New Zealand. Let me see. No New Zealand. Okay, so we're still trust me, we're still slowly adding all the different countries and all that stuff as well. So right now we have U.S., Canada, and all of Europe. Okay, and little by little we're because I'm telling you, these to get as complete of databases that we're getting for each country is very, very expensive. So when we get enough interest in one of them, we get them added in there. Okay. Perfect. So you can see just how powerful that is. You can really get targeted, start absolutely dominating, very, very targeted terms. Okay. So once you select the locations that you want to rank for, we can go to the next step, which is specifying the keywords that you want to rank for. And if you're an affiliate marketer and you don't want to do local, you can just skip the selection of locations and go straight to the keywords tab and put in multiple different keywords in here without having to tie them to any location. So you can use this as an affiliate niche site software as well. But for local purposes, we can come in here and type in multiple variations of our keyword to target within each location that we selected. So for example, I mentioned Country Lakes, and there was about 3 different zip codes inside Country Lakes. So since I selected that, Simplify is going to automatically post a piece of content for each of those zip codes that I selected for each of the keywords that I specify here. So it's going to make a post for, as an example, best plumber in 33176, best plumber, the best plumber in 33176, the best plumbing company in 33176, and best plumbing company in 33176. And that's 4 posts for just one of the zip codes that I selected. Then it's going to go to the next zip code that I selected and do the same thing and create 4 different posts for the second zip code, and do that all the way until all the locations that I selected have been completed. All right. So very, very powerful automation. Not only am I getting very targeted with my location, now I'm getting very targeted with my keywords and targeting multiple variations of my keywords as well. Okay, so once you specify your locations and once you specify your keywords, you move on to the next step, which is actually setting up the content. Okay, and I know it's taking me quite a while to go through each step, but it's all very, very simple. You create your project, you add the site, you select your locations, you add your keywords, and now this is where the magic happens, where you're adding your content. This is where the automatic on-page optimization happens, okay? And here with these short codes is how we're going to tell Simplify what to post to our website for what location that we selected and what keyword, okay? So obviously we have a keyword short tag, we have a zip code short tag, city, state, and country. Obviously, remember the golden term that I said earlier, the more targeted, the better. Okay, so the most targeted short code we can use is zip code. All right, so I'm going to use both city and zip code because I want to be able to rank for not only the variations of my keywords, but the variations of the zip codes that are within each city. Okay, you can also select whether to do posts or pages. That's going to come down to preference. I've never really had anyone, I've never really tested them closely enough to see which one ranks better or the other. It's a never-ending debate whether a post ranks better or a page ranks better. Doesn't really matter. Okay, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. A post or page is treated the same. It's a URL at the end of the day. So the title here, remember when I mentioned one of the steps to automatic on-page optimization is to make sure your keyword is in your title. Just by putting in the keyword tag in the title, this title is going to be automatically optimized for me, okay, based on the keyword that I inputted in the keywords tab. The city and the zip code, again, it's going to automatically be inputted in there based on the locations that I selected here. Okay, so my title with 3 tags is automatically optimized for me. Okay, and here's the content. Again, you can go ahead and add and sprinkle your keywords among here as well, and use the short tags. As you can see here, I have it once right there. All right, and I believe I only did it twice in this one. Here's the second one. Okay, and let me see, and there's a third one. So I put it 3 times at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Okay, now here's where things get even more automated. Okay, not only can you spin this content so that each time the piece of content gets posted, it's unique, and we're integrated with the spin rewriter, which is probably the most popular spin rewriter, the most popular content spinner out there. But here's where things get really exciting. Okay, remember how I mentioned you want to have different types of images and videos in your content as well. Simplify does that for you automatically as well. Here you can see it says dynamic images. If I click open, I click search. This article is about a plumber. I can automatically select images that are going to be used for my content. So let's say I select all of these, okay? And then in the settings, I can have it put in between a minimum and a maximum set of images. So if it's a longer article, if it's a 1,000-word article, I want to have a minimum of 2 images and probably a maximum of 4. Okay, but since this article is, I think, a little under 500 words, I'm doing a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 2. So every single time a piece of content is added to my website, it's also automatically adding an image to each of those articles at random based on all of these images that I selected. Okay. And we have that built in for videos as well. If I click open, you can specify a specific video. If you click search, let's do plumbing. I can type in by keyword, or if you have your own videos. So this is the perfect thing as well. If you're trying to rank on the first page of Google for both a niche site and a video, you can put your exact YouTube URL here and it'll pop up. You select it, and now that video is going to be automatically embedded on each and every article that you have. You can also use that if you're using a video sales letter for your clients, or a way to get your client's phone ringing. You can embed that marketing video on your client's article every time it gets published. Okay. But if not, you can do random videos by typing in a keyword and doing the same thing. Okay, you just select the ones that you want, and Surplify is going to automatically embed a video on your content automatically, so that you can have those different types of media added to your article automatically. Okay, here's where it gets even more automated. Okay, remember how I mentioned you want to have your meta information optimized as well? You no longer have to do that manually. Surplify does that as well. So you turn this on, you set the SEO features to be on by clicking yes. And here, this is the meta title. And I set it to be the same as the title up here, because although it's the same tags, it's clearly not going to be the same each time, because the keyword is going to be different each time, because it's going to match it to a different city and a different zip code every single time. So I'm telling Surplify here to optimize my title for my keyword and my locations automatically for me. And then my meta description is also going to be automatically optimized for me, because my keyword tags are right here. So it's going to include my keyword and my locations automatically without me having to do anything. Okay, and you can set your meta keywords here as well. You can put as many as you want here, and you can set Surplify to randomize those keywords as well. One powerful thing here as well is we have business schema markup. So if you already have a client that's paying you for these services, you can ensure that you add their contact schema information to each and every article as well. So not only could you add their contact info here, but you can add their business schema markup, which also helps with local rankings to have that in there. Another powerful feature we have here is post interlinking. Okay, now there's a reason why Wikipedia dominates for just about any keyword that you type into Google. The reason for that is because every other word on their website links to another page on Wikipedia. We built that same functionality into Surplify. So here you can specify different types of keyword so that Surplify automatically links each of your articles together by using the random keywords that you specify here. So you're creating a giant internal link network, just like Wikipedia does. Okay, and right here, just on this one tab alone, all of my on-page optimization is taken care of. And when I showed you at the beginning of the demo how there's 19 posts that have just been made and there's 50 posts that are on schedule, all of this is happening automatically. It's being optimized, it's being posted, and all the meta information is being posted. It's being interlinked automatically. Everything is happening automatically. Okay, so now that on-page SEO is taken care of, now it's time for the off-page SEO, which is syndication. And that's where SynLab comes into play. And the beautiful thing about this is that we have SynLab automatically built in to Surplify. So every time the content gets posted, it's going to automatically get syndicated right away. Okay, so you can see here I have my SynLab account already connected. I have my group that is specific for this campaign connected to this as well. And then I have the title that I want to be posted. I have the blog content that I want to be posted and the bookmarking as well. So you can see here when I mentioned what happens when a campaign goes viral. Remember, it gets shared on social. So here's the social part of it where it's going to be posted, the content. Here's the bookmarking content that's going to be posted, and here's the blog content that's going to be posted. So every base is covered so that everything is happening right away. Okay, the content's being posted, it's getting shared on social media, it's getting shared on bookmarking sites, and it's getting republished on other different blogging sites as well. All hands-free without me having to do anything. Okay, we also have the ability to enable indexing, and we're integrated with one of the best indexers out there, which is Backlinks Indexer, so that our content gets indexed pretty quickly. Okay, but you can see just how powerful this is. Not only is our keyword targeting automated, but our content is automated by being automatically optimized and posted, and it's being automatically syndicated through SimLab right away. Okay, that's not even talking about SimBuddy yet. Okay, so once I set all of this up, I click next. It's going to allow me to set a schedule. Okay, now there's 464 total posts that it's going to make. So since I selected new locations at the beginning of this demo, it's now been increased by 52 different locations. So I can increase this to 464 to ensure that every single location is accounted for. Okay. The schedule type, since this campaign is currently running, I can't change the schedule type, but there's two ways that you can do it. Which one way is what I have here, which is Surplify is going to post a minimum and a maximum number of posts per day. So for this project, it's going to do a minimum of 7 and a maximum of 15 every single day. Okay, until it reaches 464. Okay, and to know how long it's going to take, all I have to do is click next, and a summary of the entire project is going to show up here. I'm posting to one site. I'm posting to 116 different zip codes, 22 cities. I'm posting for 4 different keywords. I'm using 11 different images. The most targeted tag that I'm using is the zip tag. I'm using 6 different videos to be posted automatically. The SEO features are enabled. The schema is not enabled. And you can see it's going to post between 7 and 15 posts per day, and it's going to take about 32 days to complete. So within 5 minutes, I can come in here and schedule 32 days worth of optimization, posting, and syndication for my websites. Okay, talk about automation on steroids. And I'm not going to click update because I don't want this website to target Ireland and France. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those once we're done with this demo. But I want to show you something real quick. I want to show you the reports so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so if I click view, you'll see what's happening in the background. Okay, all of these posts have been posted, syndicated, posted, syndicated, posted, syndicated, posted, syndicated. All this content is posted to WordPress site, syndicated, posted to WordPress site, syndicated. So it's all happening automatically. Okay, it's posting, it's syndicating, it's posting, it's syndicating. Okay, all automatically hands-free. Give me a 2 in the chat box if this looks as powerful as I'm explaining it. Okay, hopefully I'm getting across to you guys and really you guys can see this. Okay, awesome. Peter is saying nice one, Joshua. Perfect. For those of you asking if there's going to be a replay available, yes, I hit record earlier. Hopefully the recording is capturing good. Matthew is saying external linking would be awesome too. I just showed you that. Okay, there is external linking. SimLab does the external linking. Like I just showed you. So this where it says syndicate, 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 this is external linking. Okay, this is posting to my SimLab accounts and going out to 30 different social sites. Okay, for those of you asking if there's a replay, yes, there's going to be a replay. Okay, awesome. So a bunch of you are really excited. David is saying really looks powerful. Awesome. Is there a replay? Yes, there's going to be a replay. Awesome. So a ton of you are very, very excited, just like I am. So let's go ahead and continue. So this is Simplify in a nutshell on how it works. It automatically optimizes, posts, and syndicates your content completely hands-free. Okay, and like I mentioned at the beginning, oh look, there's been another post that has gone out for me while I've been on this call. So when we started, there was 19. Now, while I'm showing you a demo, Simplify is working for me. It's posted another article, and there's 50 more that are going to be posted over the next 48 hours. So now let's jump into SynLab so I can show you how it works, because not only does SynLab work in conjunction with Simplify and allows that syndication to happen automatically, you can also leverage SynLab to syndicate other kind of content. So if you want to rank videos as well, you can come in here and use SynLab as a standalone web app to syndicate any kind of content. You can syndicate YouTube videos, e-commerce websites. You can syndicate Amazon listing URLs. If you're selling products on Amazon, you can come in here and syndicate any URL you want. Okay, and of course we just happen to build it into Simplify so that syndication happens automatically. But what we've done inside of SynLab is we've made it very simple to come in here and syndicate content. The first thing is to add your accounts. Okay, and I'll quickly show you how many accounts we're integrated with. Okay, I click service and you can see all these different types of accounts. And we've integrated with each kind of account that happens when a campaign goes viral. Okay, so we have the social media accounts, we have the bookmarking accounts, and we have the different Web 2.0 and blogging accounts in here as well. So we're covering every single aspect of what happens when a campaign goes viral. Okay, and you can see we have all these different sites here, and it's very simple to add a new account. If it's something like a social site like Twitter, okay, I'm gonna do Twitter demo. All right, you can assign it to a group as well, and this is powerful in and of itself because it allows you to keep things separately. Okay, so let's say that I have an affiliate marketing campaign, but let's say I'm also working with a local client. For the most part, I don't want to have any crossover in that content that's being syndicated, so I want to keep everything separate. So I can create a group and have just accounts that I syndicate to for my affiliate marketing campaigns, and then I have just accounts that I syndicate for my local client, and so on and so forth. You can have multiple groups so that everything stays nice and organized and you don't have that crossover. But once I click add to add that Twitter account, I click OK, I click proceed. And now, since it's a social account, most of you have probably seen a page like this, because anytime you connect to a social account, it's usually like this. And Facebook is like this as well, where you just authorize the app and that's it. One click and a Twitter account has been added. Now, although we have about 40 different sites that we're integrated with, we do not put a limit to the amount of sites that you can add, to the amount of accounts that you can add. Okay, so although we have Twitter integrated, I can add 20 different Twitter accounts if I wanted to. There's no limit to the amount of accounts that I can add per website that we're integrated with. Okay, so once I click save, this Twitter account has now been added. Okay, so you can see here it's authenticated. To create a group is very simple. You add a group, you name it, and then you can specify what accounts go into that group. So I'm going to do demo group, click add. All right, and now it says here you don't have any account in this group yet. Click here to assign some accounts now. So let's say I want to add a bunch of Twitters to this. Let's say I have 10 Twitter accounts and I want to have a massive Twitter syndication party. Okay, I can add as many Twitter accounts here. Okay, so click assign. Now this specific group can be my Twitter syndication group. Okay, I have 20 Twitter accounts. Anytime I want to syndicate to Twitter, I can just syndicate and choose this demo group to be the one to syndicate to. All right, and that's how simple it is to create a group. So now that we've added an account and we've added an accounts group, we can create a campaign. And adding a campaign is very, very simple. Just like you saw, it's step by step. And if you still run into any trouble, we have full training built into all of our web apps. So Simplify has a training tab, SynLab has a training tab, and SimBuddy has a training tab where we cover every single aspect of our platform. Okay, so let's do Twitter syndication. I'm going to do to a single account, which is the one that I just added, Twitter demo. Click create. Click OK. And here we have multiple options that we can select from as well. Okay, we can choose for the campaign to start right away, or we can schedule it for the future. I'm going to click immediately. And this is what the social editor looks like. Okay, so I'm going to put this is a test, and then I'm going to put google.com. Obviously, you want to have your URL that you want to rank here. You can attach a Twitter photo now, since now Twitter allows for you to post pictures. And one powerful thing here as well is that we built SimBuddy into SynLab as well. Okay, so you can automatically send this content to the SimBuddy platform to be shared by our other members as well. Okay, and I'll jump into SimBuddy fairly quickly here in a few minutes. I know we're going a little bit over on time, so I'm going to try and speed up a little bit. Okay, so we can do preview. Okay, close preview. And once I hit save, this content is going to be automatically syndicated for me. Okay, so I hit save. And it does take about 10 seconds for that process to complete. So you can see campaign is in progress. So I'm just going to quickly walk through a few other things that we have here. And then I'll come back and show you once that campaign is completed. So a few other things that we have here is we have another powerful WordPress plugin for SynLab. Now this is powerful because let's say you have an old website that's used to get some great results, but it's kind of died off now. You can install our WordPress plugin, and what's going to happen is the WordPress plugin is going to connect to your SynLab account, and all the old content that's on that website is going to automatically start getting syndicated. Okay, so it's going to start to revive that website, and it's going to post every single piece of content that's ever been posted on that website. And it's also going to automatically syndicate any new content that you post in the future, so that now that old website can start getting revived, and you can start bringing it back to life and start getting traffic for that website as well. Or if it's a brand new website, you can install it right away, and anytime you publish any new content on that WordPress site, it's going to automatically send it to SynLab. Okay, so that's, let's say you're not using Simplify, it's just an independent WordPress site that you want for the same kind of automatic syndication to happen. You can do that with the WordPress plugin. You install it and boom, it's just going to automatically start getting syndicated. Okay, we also have access sharing built in here. So let's say, you know, like me, where I built myself up to a point where I can start building software and I can start outsourcing stuff, you're most likely going to get to that point as well. So you have the option to share access to your account via a sub account, so that someone else can run your campaigns for you without your main account being compromised. Okay, so you can click new access link here. You can choose an expiration date if you're giving your VA a trial period. You can give them you can put the email address that they're going to use to access and their name, and then a unique link is going to be sent to them so that they can log in under your main account and start syndicating content on your behalf. Okay, so we've built, again, very powerful automation here. So now we've talked about Simplify. Now we've shared with you SynLab, which allows you to share your content on multiple different social media sites, blogging sites, and even bookmarking sites, and have it be automated with a WordPress plugin as well, and be completely hands-free if you choose to, by having a VA do everything for you. Now let's quickly talk about the knockout punch, and then I'll share with you the very special offer that we have for you on here today. So the SimBuddy, and you can see here the updated number, over 1.5 million shares over the last a little over a year or so. So SimBuddy is the knockout punch. It allows you to get real social shares and social signals from 4,300 other fellow members located all over the world. And again, these are real members. These aren't paid employees. These aren't VAs in the Philippines. These are real members like you and I who have come together to share each other's content. Okay, and the way that it works is based on a credit system. So you share my content and I lose credits, I share your content and I gain credits. Okay, and we have a perfect balance of people who prefer to just buy credits versus people who prefer to just earn credits. Okay, and you guys on here are going to have the ability to have credits every single month, so you don't technically have to share content. Okay, so we have a good balance of that number of people who just share content all day long and earn their credits, and then those power users who rather just buy credits and add their content right away. So we have two options. We have social signals, and it's very simple to add a campaign. Click add a social signal campaign, name it. Okay, I'm going to do demo URL. I'm going to put Google. You can set your category, total limit. So let's say I want 100 total social signals to this campaign, and let's say I want no more than 10 per day. And you can choose to have Facebook likes, Facebook share, Google plus ones, or a Twitter tweet. And if I would have put a YouTube URL here, an option for video views would show up as well. Okay, so you can get real people watching your videos, which also boosts your rankings. Once you do this, you click add, and it gets automatically sent to the network so that all members can start sharing it. Okay, and to share content to earn credits is very simple. But again, you guys have the option to not have to do that because you'll be getting credits every single month. Okay, and you can see here this person is looking to get more Twitter shares for their Twitter account. I can click like. Okay, click confirm. Like, and now I've officially liked that page. You can see that, and you might have noticed that my credits went up as well. I can also Google plus one that URL. Okay, click share, and now that content I've liked it and I've tweeted it. No, excuse me, and I Google plus it. I can tweet it as well. Click tweet. All right, so that person just got a Facebook like, they got a tweet, and they got a Google plus one for their URL. Okay, very, very powerful system we've built here. Okay, and the fact that we've gotten over 1.5 million shares proves that we've built something that people truly want to use. Okay, we also have the section to get social shares. So remember, there's one part that you get social signals and social shares. So social signals is just like I showed you. You're getting people to like it, retweet it, and all that stuff. And then social shares is where you're getting the other part, where you're getting the bookmarks and you're getting people to post it on their websites and things like that. Okay, so very simple to add a campaign. Click add a social share campaign, and here same thing. You add the name. So I'm going to do demo, the URL. Let's do Google. Keywords, you can do keyword 1, keyword 2. Same thing, you can specify a category, total limit. Let's do 100 that I want total. Let's say I want 10 per day. And down here is where you specify the content that other people are going to be posting on your behalf. Okay, all fully spinnable as well. So here's the blog content, here's the social media content, and here's the bookmarking content. Okay, so we're covering every single base when it comes to a campaign going viral, which is what's going to help us to rank on the first page. And again, here you can see this very, very powerful option here in the bottom. You can add it to SynLab right away. So all of our apps are interconnected. So just how you can send your content from within SynLab to SimBuddy, you can automatically send your content from SimBuddy to SynLab. And the reason we built that is because remember, when a campaign is going viral, all of this stuff is happening fast. So when we're able to interconnect all of our apps, we're able to keep up with that. We're able to do all of the social syndication and social signals. We're able to make it happen quickly so that we can get those results and also make sure it sticks for the long term. Okay, so how amazing is that? All right. Awesome. Give me a 4 in the chat box. And someone's saying Google Plus is dead. Yeah, soon enough, Google will be closing its doors to Google Plus, but we will be adding some additional platforms on there to replace that. So we're on top of it. Don't worry. That's one good thing that about us is that we stay on top of our platforms as well. Awesome. Tons of 4s coming in. Ryan says my brain hurts. Awesome. So let's go ahead and now let's talk about this offer, guys. Now that I've demoed everything and showed you how everything works, let's talk about that offer. Okay, so talk about awesome. Many of you are posting for, so we are on the same page. Okay, and you can see how excited I get about this because these are apps that I actually built out of necessity. So why are you guys here? Okay, I've got a very special deal as a recent customer of mine. Most of you are on here because you purchased Done For You Chief, and this is the perfect system to offer those local SEO ranking services to your clients once they buy that Done For You Chief site from you. Okay, so Josh, this sounds amazing, but how much? Okay, you're getting agency access to Simplify, which again allows you to use this for your client campaigns. Okay, so you can use this for an unlimited amount of sites. You get full access to the scheduling feature. You can create an unlimited amount of random users per project. So remember, when all of that content is being posted on your website, you don't want it to be going to the same author. So you can create an unlimited number of users per project. You can sell your Simplify sites and keep 100% of the profit. So let's say that your client is currently paying you $500 a month to rank their website, and then they get to a point where hey, I'd rather just buy the entire site from you and just continue working on it myself. Perfect. You can sell the entire site to them and let them let them keep the results as well. Okay, so you get to keep 100% of that profit. You can create an unlimited amount of posts per project. Okay, so you can see I have hundreds of different posts going out to my projects every single week. Access to all the syndication integrations, and you get to unlock all of US, Canada, and Europe, and any locations that we add in the future. Okay, so you can truly take your business global if you wanted to. You get full agency license to use this for yourself and your clients. I already mentioned that. And I decided to take this even further and make this truly the most powerful ranking trifecta ever. How? By including agency access to both SynLab and SimBuddy. Okay, so with agency access with SynLab, you're going to be able to perform over 25,000 syndications per month. You're going to be able to create up to 1,000 different groups. You're going to get access to our tiered syndication, which I didn't even get to talk about. Man, I completely forgot to talk about that. But you can create multiple tiers so that your syndication gets an even stronger boost. Okay. And it's a bit of an advanced strategy. So we covered in the members area. If you're brand new to SEO, don't even worry about it. Just know that you have one hell of a powerful feature included with this purchase. Once you use SynLab for a couple of weeks, a month, and you get the hang of it, you can start deploying the tier syndication. You get access to our SynLab Booster plugin, which I said allows you to revive any old website, use on new websites, and just automate the syndication for all of your content. You get access to all new integrations we add in the future, okay? And I just mentioned this. We keep our apps up to date. When we started, we had only 21 sites. Now we're up to over 40. You get the ability to add unlimited accounts. Remember, although we're integrated with Twitter, you can have 20 Twitter accounts integrated, 30 Twitter accounts, 40 Twitter accounts. Since we have WordPress.org integrated, let's say you have a PBN of 50 different websites, you can add your entire PBN onto the SynLab platform. You get up to 6 months worth of scheduling. I've never seen anyone that dedicated where they schedule 6 months in advance, but you have that option. Full agency license to use this for yourself and for your clients as well. And one thing that I pride myself on as well is reviews, customer testimonials. These are all of our real customer testimonials, and we get customer testimonials for each and every one of our apps. So these are customer testimonials for, and let me move this to the back so that you can see this. I forgot to do that before, but we have customer testimonials for each of our web apps. And let me see if I can remember how to do this. There we go. Perfect. Let me go back. All right, so customer testimonials. These are the testimonials for SynLab. Okay, you'll be able to read this once you get to the order page. People just love our web apps. Okay, and we have these are all real testimonials. These are the testimonials for SimBuddy. Okay, you can see the first one. I love the software. It is easy to use. It doubled my traffic, and it is targeted quality traffic. Alan says if anyone is interested in getting more traffic, you should really give this software a try. And these are the testimonials for Simplify. Again, you'll be able to see all of these on the order page once I put that link in the chat box. Okay, so let's quickly talk numbers, and so I can get you guys this link, okay? To get access to Simplify Agency, we can easily be charging $127 per month, which is over $1,500 per year. and we can easily charge $9.97, which is over a $600 discount. And that's only talking about our Simplify agency account. That doesn't even include the value that you're getting by also getting access to SynLab and SimBuddy. Okay, so we can charge those prices for just Simplify alone. Okay, but today's special that I have for you guys is not $127 a month, is not $97, not $1,500, not $497, but just $297, guys. So for just $297 plus a $10 per month maintenance fee, that just helps us keep the engine running. It's very expensive to keep these apps up and running, so we just ask everyone to chip in. We make zero money on those $10 a month. All of that goes to making sure that our development team is able to keep these apps up to date. So for just $297, you get access to all 3 web apps. Okay, and I'm going to send the link over to you guys now. So those of you that are ready to head on out, you can pick it up. And then I know for some of you, it's pretty late where you are, so I want to respect your time. So let me post this link in the chat box, and you guys can go ahead and join. All right, so $297, you get access to all 3 web apps, guys, and I can easily just charge one of them for what we're charging for all 3. And of course, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you guys have ever purchased any of my web apps, you hit up my support desk. My right-hand man, Steve, doesn't even blink an eye. You want a refund, he gives it to you. Boom, no questions asked. So a recap of what you're getting today: full access to Simplify Agency, easily a $997 value. Full access to SynLab agency access, which allows you to build over 25,000 syndications per month. You get access to SimBuddy, our agency package as well, and you get our 2,000 per month agency access, which is going to give you 2,000 credits every single month to automatically add content right away. Okay. Someone is asking how many OTOs? 0. There is not a single upsell here, guys, and I can easily add one. So if you want me to, I can go ahead and add it. Okay. You get full access to SimBuddy, our 2,000 per month package. You get access to our SynLab booster plugin, which I sell on its own. Okay, so some of you are asking if there's an upsell. That is an actual upsell. If you try and go buy SynLab outside of this special offer, the WordPress plugin is an upsell. You're getting it as part of this package. Okay, and you also get access to Samurai Video Bootcamp, which is a 4-week course where I just absolutely divulge everything that I know about ranking videos on the first page. I charge $297 every time I run that 4-week bootcamp, and you get access to the replays for free. So this is easily a total value of over $3,500. And again, for just $297, you get access to all of this. Okay. So now that my voice is almost gone and I got through all of this, let me post the link one more time. And once you join us, let me know in the chat box, okay? Give me a 1 in the chat box, or give me I'm in the chat box, and I can welcome you, okay? So let's see. Let me go through the questions now. Gabrielle, let me see what you're asking. All right, Gabriel, I'm going to reply to you right now. If not, you can. If this doesn't work, then go ahead and send a support ticket, and I'll make sure to tell Steve to just send it to me, and then I'll get in there and help you out. All right, I'm going through the questions now. All right. Ben is saying, do we have a split pay? Unfortunately not. This is, I mean, almost rock bottom price of what we're letting this go for. So, I mean, there's not much else I can do. All right, it's $297, and I mean, you're getting access to all of this. How long will this be open? I would say probably to what today's Thursday, probably till about Sunday or Monday, so not very long, only for a few days. I can't keep these up for too long. Again, this is a very rock bottom price. If you try to find this offer anywhere outside of this webinar, you're going to pay a recurring fee for Simplify, our agency license. You're going to pay a recurring fee for our SimLab agency license, and you're going to pay a recurring fee for our SimBuddy agency license as well. And you're going to pay for the upsell of the WordPress plugin. So I can't keep this up for too long. This is truly a very special offer. Kurt, again, is asking for a split pay. Unfortunately, no. Gene just joined us. Awesome, Gene. Great to have you on here. John just joined us. Awesome. Great to have you on. Carenza is saying, I have no website or content. Am I really ready for this right now? All it takes is a domain name, okay? You set up a domain name, you install WordPress, and inside of Simplify, one thing that we have as well is if you're brand new, okay, if you're brand new, let me see if I can exit from this. All right, and if you're brand new, we cover some very, and this, I didn't even mention that you're getting access to this as well, which I completely forgot. You're getting access to our Simplify Academy. So if you have no website and no content, take a look at this. Not only do we have advanced SEO training in here, we also have some very basic training for those of you like you, Carenza, where you're brand new. We walk you through how to buy a domain, how to install WordPress, and then from there you can go through the other tutorials on, look at that, choosing a domain name for your local site. All right, we cover absolutely everything. Hosting your website, okay, all of this stuff. Adding your website, your hosting name service to your domain name, how to add domain to your shared hosting account, and install WordPress. So we cover absolutely everything. Building your site, okay. So if you're brand new, Carenza, you can definitely add this to your arsenal and even learn how to get started with a brand new website, okay. So we cover it all. Now, if some of you are saying if you have one or the other, you have SimLab already, you have SimBuddy. If you're in that situation, hit up my support desk, and we will see if we can accommodate you guys. Okay, can't promise anything, but hit up my support desk. My support is support@samuraiblogger.com, and we'll see if we can accommodate you. There's a few of you saying, "Hey, I have SimLab. Hey, I have SimBuddy already." So if you do, I'm going to be posting my support desk, and we'll see if we can do something for you guys. All right, I'm going to post my support desk in the chat box. Kurt is saying thanks for the webinar. Awesome. Donald is saying, what if we already have all the apps? Well, congratulations, man. Go put them to work. Eliana is saying, how long will this offer last? I have first to check out the replay. Okay, so the replay will probably, I'll be posting the replay once I'm done here now. It'll probably take an hour or two to render and all of that stuff. So the replay will be up by tonight or tomorrow. And then I can't keep this offer up for more than, I'd say, 3 or 4 days. Okay. Because again, it's a very, very special offer. So it's Tuesday today. I'll probably leave it open till about Monday or Sunday of next week. Yeah, well, the Sunday coming up, sorry. Jeff is saying, are the scheduled post articles that you have written yourself or are posts curated? You can do both, okay? I used to write articles myself. It depends on your budget pretty much. When I was just starting out, I would write the articles myself. Then I started using sites like iWriter where you can, buy articles for like $3 to $5, $6. Maybe there it might be up to like $7 now. But the good thing about iWriter is that you can choose how much you pay based on the quality of writer that you hire. So that's a good feature about them. Or yeah, you could use curated content. You do want to make sure you spin it and then do it like that. Okay, so that make sure that although you're using curated content to make sure it's unique. Matthew is saying, so with the Done For You Chief site, I would set up a subdomain at the client domain. Yeah, absolutely. You set up, your client's domain.com/blog and then run Simplify through that subdomain. You can do it like that. Or you can, if you really want to get fancy with it, you can buy a completely new domain yourself. A new domain is just $10. You create the entire site on there, you get the rankings, and then you push those rankings to your client's main website. And if for some reason they ever stop paying you, guess who owns the rankings? Guess who owns the domain? You do. Okay. So if you really want to have a stranglehold on your clients, buy a completely new domain, set up Simplify to run on that new domain, and then you charge your client every month to run these SEO campaigns. And if for every reason they ever stop paying you, boom, you're in full control of everything. Sammy is saying, how many credits per month do we get for SimBuddy? You get 2,000 credits every single month. Matthew is saying, thanks for no OTO crap. It's nice, strong product standing on its own. You're welcome. Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give you guys a solid offer that can truly help you guys. All right. Oh yeah, Donald is saying for all the Video Traffic Genie users that are on here, you can use Video Traffic Genie to look for a domain and get it for $1. Yeah, absolutely. Sonia is saying, is this a one-time charge or will there be a monthly charge? So it's $297 and then just $10 a month. So a small $10 a month fee that helps us keep the engines running. And I was looking at just one of my server accounts yesterday. For the month of October, we're at $712 just in server costs. Okay, and we have 3 other servers that we run. Okay, so the $10 a month just helps us keep the engine running. Again, we make zero money on it. Everyone just chips in just to keep the engines running, and we keep all of the apps up to date. Simplify, we created Simplify about 2.5 years ago, still running. We've just recently added the keyword tab. Okay, so the option to add keywords, we added that recently. We also added all of Europe recently, and these databases alone, I think for Europe alone, we paid about $4,000 just for that database. And for US and Canada, I think that was like another $2,000. So it costs money to keep these apps running, guys. So that $10 a month just helps it keep it running. And if you ever purchase a web app where someone doesn't have some kind of recurring, I'd be very, very hesitant, because how are they going to keep the lights on, a year from now, 2 years from now? Because it does get expensive to keep these apps running. One app, let alone 3 apps. Okay, especially when you're talking web apps. Again, just one of the servers I was looking at yesterday, $712. Evaristo is saying, is this appropriate for affiliate sites? Yeah. So to how you use this for affiliate sites, you just skip the geolocation portion. Okay, so instead of going and selecting geolocations, you go to the keywords tab, and then you just insert your keywords in here. So if you're targeting multiple variations of your keywords, you post that in there, and then when you do your content, you just use the keyword tab. You don't use any of the location tabs, and you can use this as a monster for affiliate marketing campaigns. All right, Karen's is saying, sorry to be a pain. No, please, I welcome all the questions. How could I personally monetize a site with this newfound SEO? Multiple different ways. So if you're doing a local website, you can rank locally and then rank the website to a local client. So if you get the rankings first with Simplify, you can start calling around and be like, hey, look, I have this website. It's already ranking. It's already generating phone calls. Would you like to claim this phone number? I can start forwarding you calls, and it'll just cost you $500 a month. Or you can just start forwarding calls to them right away. And then there's different software out there that allow you to play a short message before they get connected to the person calling, and the short message can say something like, this phone call is being forwarded to you by Joshua Marketing Services. And let's say you forward 4 or 5 calls to a local client, and every time it says this call is forwarded to you by Joshua Marketing Services. And then guess what? A week or two later, I'll call and be like, hey, this is Joshua's Marketing Services. I've been sending you calls over the last 2 weeks or so. How are you liking those calls? Would you like them to continue? Boom. Okay, we can meet and set up a schedule, and you can pay me $1,000 a month, and I'll send you these calls indefinitely. If not, I can just call your competitor. Boom. That's one way. Another way is by affiliate marketing that someone just asked. Okay, you can create websites like this and then monetize them with different affiliate marketing campaigns. Right now, Amazon's sales are going to start going through the roof with the holiday sales. You can use this to create Amazon affiliate sites and just send all your traffic to Amazon and capture the holiday traffic. So many different ways. All right. Donald is saying use it as a lead gen. Yeah, absolutely. You can create lead generation sites and again sell the leads to different clients. Okay. Yeah, and Abaristo is asking, is my help desk available to answer specific problems? Yes, that's what we are there for. So just hit up our support desk. It's support@zamuraiblogger.com. And if I missed your question for any reason, feel free to post them as well. Gabriela is saying, can I rank subdomains good too as well? Absolutely. Okay, any URL that you can make public can rank on the first page of Google, especially if it's built on WordPress, especially if you use the on-page optimization that's built into Simplify and the syndication. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to post the link one more time, guys. One second. David is saying, I'm not nearly as accomplished as you. Will I be overwhelmed trying to use this system? Again, this goes back to the other question that was asked. We cover absolutely everything in the tutorials tab inside of Simplify that it doesn't matter your experience level, whether you're brand new or you're just getting started. We break it down even to the basic thing of how to choose a domain name, how to install WordPress, how to set up your hosting account, all of that stuff. We break it down inside of Simplify. So no, you will not be overwhelmed. And especially once you set up a couple of campaigns inside of Simplify, things start to get easier. You start to get the hang of it. All right. Kurt is saying, please don't tell the Russians about this. Ben is saying, what's the difference between syndication and press release and which one is more powerful? They're both very, very powerful. I think press releases are more of a way to get traffic quickly from a third-party website, because usually when you run a press release, the press release is what ranks on the first page of Google. Although you're linking to your website and it helps rank your website as well, you can leverage press releases so that they rank right away on the first page of Google. And it sends traffic to your website. Okay. And there's one downside to press releases where for the most part they allow 1 to 2 URLs per press release. Okay. With syndication, it's all about ranking your website. Okay. All the syndication that's going out is to push your website to the top. So they're both very, very powerful. Just I guess it depends on the type of campaign that you want to run. But press releases work very, very well. They rank on their own as well. And the only downside is, again, they are a third-party website that you're not in control of. You're paying someone to publish an article on a news site, pretty much, which is still powerful again. All right. So let us know once you joined us. Okay. Nick just joined us. Jay just joined us. Awesome. Great to have you on. Donald is saying Joshua's support is stellar. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Matthew, is the training good? Yes, absolutely. I mean, we cover absolutely everything. And there's a couple of webinars in here, Q&A webinars that we ran where we covered a lot of the questions that many of you may have. Okay. So we did two. We did a walkthrough Q&A webinar, and then we did a second one here. No, sorry, this is the first one, and then we did a second one. Okay, so we cover a lot of what you need to do if you're brand new. Lawrence just joined. Awesome, Lawrence. Ian is asking, how does it all fit with XRanker 360? This fits perfectly with XRanker 360. Okay, XRanker 360 is it's pretty much the video version of Surplify. So it automates the process of ranking live events with video, and it's also integrated with SynLab. So Surplify, how it would fit with XRanker 360, you can use XRanker 360 to kind of figure out which keywords you'll rank for quickly, since you can create campaigns right away with XRanker, figure out which keywords you'll rank for, and then follow that up with Surplify and create a niche site. Now that you know that you can rank for it with a video, you can create a website around it and rank a video and a website for the same keyword. Marcus is saying, what's the cost if you purchase everything separately? All right, let's break it down. So right now, I believe Surplify Agency Access, well, Surplify Pro is the smaller version of Surplify. That I think is out there for $297 on its own. And then you're going to see the upsell, which is Surplify Agency, which is $997 per year right now. And then SynLab, our agency package right now, sells for $47 every 3 months. Okay, so that's about about $200, give or take a year. SimBuddy, same thing, about $200 to $300 per year as well. And the booster plugin, I think we have it for $97. We can easily be charging way more than that. And the bootcamp, if you ever get on that, it's $297 to get access to that 4-week bootcamp. So I don't know, you can calculate that. It's a recurring fee for each one, so the cost is however long you continue paying. Awesome. Ben is saying, I joined a healthcare company that it's in pre-launch. I can dominate with the software. Just need to get paid this Friday so I can purchase. Awesome. It will definitely still be available on Friday. So great to have you on, Ben. All right. If you guys have any other questions, post them in the chat box. If you're on the fence about picking this up, let me know. I mean, this is, again, very, very powerful system we've set up here to really, like Ben just said, dominate. And that's awesome that you just joined. Especially companies that are in pre-launch, you can truly dominate because the competition is practically non-existent yet. Yu Wang is asking, how does it work with e-commerce sites like WooCommerce, Shopify? Again, same thing. So e-commerce sites and things like that, what you probably want to do is either, again, install another directory. So install whatever your e-commerce website is /blog, and have the blog be on WordPress, because Surplify works with WordPress, and then tie that into linking back to your e-commerce site or your WooCommerce site or your Shopify site. Excuse me. Or again, you can buy a completely new domain that's just for sending traffic to your e-commerce website. So you can rank you can buy a domain just for ranking purposes and then link to your e-commerce site, or embed your products on the site that's ranking, and then just funnel all of that traffic to your e-commerce site. All right. So again, many of you are saying that you have one or the other. If that's the case with you, hit up our support desk, and I will talk with Steve and see if we can help you guys out. And Steve is my support guy, so just hit up my support desk, support@samuraiblogger.com. Yeah, Karenza is saying, so refreshing to not be a 5th or 6th OTO. Yep, absolutely. Sonia is saying, I'm going to join later after I watch the replay. Awesome. Great to have you on, Sonia. John is saying, please post the link again. Okay, so it's joshuazamora.com/Surplify. Do not try and get this while you're driving, John. Please. John is saying he is driving and it keeps fading out. Don't worry, it'll still be available when you get home. I'll be taking it down probably Sunday or Monday. So if you're driving, continue driving. You can, matter of fact, hang up the phone, get off the call, and continue driving. Guy is saying, can you give us until next Tuesday? Well, I'll see. I mean, if you hit them, I'm most likely going to close it on Sunday or Monday. But if you hit up my support desk and you really needed that extra day, I'm usually try to be pretty flexible if you're really in a situation where you have to wait until an extra day. Rockman is saying, can I join tomorrow? Yes. So tomorrow this will still be available. Most likely all the way up until, like I said, Sunday, Monday. Brandon is saying, Josh, what do you mean by funneling traffic back to a site? Great question. So let's say I buy a brand new domain and I have an e-commerce website at the same time. So I buy a brand new domain that I'm going to use specifically to use with Simplify, so that once that new domain is ranking, all the ads and all the links and everything that's on this new domain is going to link to my e-commerce site, because that's what's going to make me the money. So funneling traffic back to a site, that's what I mean by that. So you're creating a website just for the purpose of ranking it in Google, and then all the traffic that lands on that website is going to go back to your money site, which is the e-commerce website. So I was just answering the question of someone asking how it works with an e-commerce site, and that's what I meant. Matthew is saying, can I integrate with Social Monkey? Yeah. So remember, one of the options here is that you get access to all the integrations as well with SynLab and Simplify. So excuse me, with Simplify. So inside of Simplify, you get access to all the syndication integrations. And you're asking about Social Monkey. Yeah, that's integrated in there as well. Okay, awesome, guys. So perfect. So just hit up our support desk and we'll get you taken care of. So if any of you are on the fence still, again, I probably have about another 5 minutes or so to continue asking questions. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop the recording so that it doesn't go too long. The recording now is at 2 hours long, and if it gets too long, it just takes forever to render. So I'm going to stop the recording, and if you're watching the recording, here is the link for you to join. I'm going to stop the recording now and then just continue answering questions, sorry.